Good day everyone, David speaking. I'm recording this at 9:45 on Wednesday the 12th of February. It's a midweek update, maybe not as midweek as I would like it because I'm traveling a little bit later on, and although I could do it while I'm traveling, there'd be a lot of noise in the background, so please bear with me. Situation in the UK looking much better than it did at our Monday afternoon talk. As you can see, we've got 3 green lights telling us that the price is up day over day and week over week. The momentum of the price and the buy-sell ratio reflecting the same position. So a strong short-term trend. The underlying trend is up, and we've got a confirmed up which had been in place since the 24th of October. So the trend situation strong in the UK. So let's just have a look at the composite, and if I pull the composite up, there we are, and that's that composite. I'll put up the confirmed calls. Let's go to a 6-month chart, and that's the last confirmed call up on the 24th of October. This pattern would seem, it's not we've got green lights. I was hoping for, there's that little trend line we spoke about on Monday. We still haven't got a close above that, but we've got a green light in place, so per the VectorVest rules, it's safe to buy stocks at this time. Maybe the more conservative of you would want to see a close above that trend line. I like it because, as you know, I pointed out this reverse divergence that we have, and also that those lows are 78% of the last range. So very strong pattern indeed that bodes well. Just remember, there's a great deal of bad news still in the newspaper. The market is shrugging that off. Read the virus. So at the moment the market looks as if it's winning that battle. It's about 10 to 10 here now, and the FTSE's up 20 points this morning. So that bodes well, and my advice on Monday afternoon was to try and be strong and hang into this move, and that's exactly what I'm going to say this morning. So let's just try and be strong, folks. It's not easy to let winners run. It's very easy to read about, much more difficult to do, and that's what I try and focus on, trying to let my winners run, cut my losers quickly. Very easy to say, much more difficult to do in practice. It takes a great deal of presence to be able to do that. So if we go out of that and go to viewers, as you well know, VectorVest rates all of the stocks in the London stock market with this combination, this unique combination of value, safety and trend. And one share I want to talk about today, folks, is a new share which I think has got opportunity for us, is Quilter. Now Quilter was spun out of South African listed Old Mutual that I know very well, and that's the code QLT.L. It's trading at 173. Now VectorVest believes it's worth 279, so it's significantly undervalued. It was down less than a penny yesterday, 0.5%. But the really interesting thing is that the relative value, which is a measure of the price appreciation potential in relation to what a bond will pay, is at 1.76 on a scale between 0 and 2. That's nearly at the top of the scale. So that's an extremely good number. The relative safety at 1.14 is fair to good, and I don't know why this is on the low side. As we'll see in a moment, the earnings per share is a little erratic, and the company hasn't been listed that long. This particular part hasn't been listed that long, although Old Mutual's been listed in London for I think 10-15 years, and on Johannesburg for as long as the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has been around. The RT at 1.37 says the share is trending nicely on the short term, and the VST is a very respectable 1.43. It's on a buy with a stop loss at 158. Now VectorVest reckon it's going to grow earnings at 43% next year. That is quite a clip, folks. So CI is poor. The long-term trend not established, but the share looks very interesting to me. Now it certainly would not be a worry-free share. Worry-free needs RS pretty much above 1.25, and as we'll see in a second, it would not be a earnings per share king that Mark and Bill talked about over the last few weeks. It's more of your correspondent, David, trying to get rich quick type of a momentum trade. So if you're into that sort of thing, then please have a look. If you're not, just ignore this. I think I've got the share. There's the share, folks. And as you can see, earnings fell, earnings went back up again, and as earnings went back up, VectorVest revalued the share. That certainly wouldn't please Bill or Mark. It's not an earnings per share king at all. However, if I take the value off here, I can see that this is making its way up the page in an interesting way, in that, as you can see here, if I draw in these lines, that this resistance became support, and then it did the same thing here again, and it did the same thing here again. Okay, so this trend, the short-term trend, looking quite good, but what really interests me is volume. And if I put volume on, it's obvious to me, and I've been wrong before, as you know, but it's obvious to me that this share has been slowly accumulated by what it appears to be quite professional hands. As you can see, price rose and volume ticked up. Price rose, volume ticked up, and then in this move, it was price went up and volume really moved. This big day, massive volume going into it. This big day, volume going into it, and now it's going sideways, folks, and there's no volume at all. And that's telling me that there's not many sellers out there. So it looks to me as if this share has been professionally accumulated surreptitiously accumulated by people, and that's caused the share price to move. From a fundamental point of view, there seems to be a swathe of money moving into the UK market after the election. That's been well reported in many places, and I think that that's doing these small asset managers an awful lot of good. So Quilter looks to me as if it can move. It could easily be another Lion Trust Asset Management and give us a big 50% trade. So that's something for you to consider. Please let me emphasize that this is not a worry-free share. It's not an earnings per share king. It is a momentum trade, and the relative safety is on the low side. I like it, and if I can put together a few bob over the next day or two, I should be buying into it personally. So folks, that's our first midweek update. I'll have this on my YouTube channel. I hope that VectorVest will send it out. All looks good, folks. We just need to be strong, and I've added in a trading recommendation for your consideration. It's not financial advice. You need to sit down and think about it. You know where to find me if I can help in any way. Thank you very much. Bye bye now, everyone.